everybody, I'm Gina with Legacy Jewelry Appraisers and Buyers. I'm a GIA gemologist and recently assisted Carlos in his estate. Carlos had about 35 to 40 boxes from his 40 years of being a collector. And one of the ways that Carlos would sell his items was through the swap meets in California. He bought many of his items through estates, garage sales, homes, people that were looking to move on with their items. The treasures that were found in his 35 to 40 boxes, which still, as a collector, he was unaware of, consisted of a lot of sterling silver and a lot of gold jewelry. And as you know, there's a price for that in this market, which is forever going up in our economy. I pulled out some items today to show you some of the treasures that I had also found in there that helped Carlos understand that his estate had some value to it. So I brought them out today to show you. And I'm going to start here with a Matisse. This is a collector's item. It's made of copper. It's an enamel. It's Matisse, I'm sorry. And you'll see this on the internet. And this will be, the prices of these collectible items will range depending on what sites and what platforms they're sold at. But I thought I would share them with you today. This I found was very interesting. It's an old vintage kitty cat with fur and movable eyes. And it's made from JJ Company, Jonette. And this goes back to 1935 to 2006, JJ Company. This happens to be one of the oldest pieces within the collection, which makes it worth more money. So I wanted to show that to you, even though the newer pieces of Jonette would be of less value. And that's one of the wonderful things about looking at when you're looking at estates, is looking at the vintage items that are older, because those are going to be worth more money. This happens to be a beautiful pair of Essenberg earrings. These are enamel. They're beautiful egg-shaped crystal. They're only a gold plating, but these are actually very trendy right now with the color of coral. So I wanted to show you those. Those were a nice treasure. This pin collection does not have any emblems on it, but I thought it was very vintagey. It's tassels and pins and really cool looking metals. If you look in the back here, you'll see they're quite old buttoned the way that they're made. This makes those of a collector's dream to find something like that. I also wanted to show you this pin, which was also very beautiful. Carol DePlaz, she worked for Marion Haskell. Marion Haskell is very big in the 1920s or 30s, and she gets quite a bit of money for her items once they're on the internet. And of course it all ranges depending on the platforms that are sold. But when you get into the older pieces like this one of Carol DePlaz, these end up being more money, and she's getting a name for herself for her old vintage pieces. So I wanted to show you that. One of the other things that I really want to show you are these cufflinks. Cufflinks are big. There's a lot of people that are looking for them, a lot of collectors. Even though they're gold plated, these are the old vintage ones, and I just pulled out a couple of pairs to show you. They're actually a really nice find. This pin here is not necessarily signed, but I thought it was beautiful. It's pretty old. A lot of times you want to look at color. Green is not one of the top colors to look for, but the fact is that it's in excellent condition. It is rhinestone, gold plated, and I thought that would be interesting to see. These earrings here are all Chanel and also St. John. Those were vintage, so I wanted to show you those. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, a pair of old pens. These are Watermans, and you'll see on the internet that these are actually a little on the pricey side if they're cleaned up and they're in good condition. So I wanted to share that with you. The other thing that I thought was pretty cool, this is probably 1930s. It's a little clip belt. So you see it's beautiful vintage. It's brass based, but somebody is going to buy that and probably they'll put some kind of a leather strap behind it, and that would be a really nice find. So I wanted to share that with you. So all in all, I think that we did a pretty good treasure hunt today with Carlos. Carlos is very happy. He has all his gold separated. He has all his sterling, which is quite a bit. So Carlos is on the way to the bank, and there are collectors for his many, many boxes. A lot of things were costume jewelry of not significant value. So Carlos will be finding somebody that will have a use for those items. So happy hunting, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.